Fringe from X is checking in. Thank you, my friend, for coming and asking something. You're awesome. And Fringe has a real interesting personal story, you guys. If you don't know, go to Twitter X and find out. Follow her, and you will be educated. How do you see the negative alien agenda playing out? I don't know. See, so you learn about me is when I don't know something, you'll know that I don't know. I'll just tell you I don't have any idea. I want to get it right. Right. I want to make sure with the information, because there's so much, as you know, there's so much misinformation and disinformation, right? Stuff that just isn't true and stuff that's intentionally misleading around this whole subject. To wade through all that, and then to realize that there are, good natured, good intentioned people who aren't looking very deep into this at all. Whether it be the church, Christians who just dismiss it and dismiss the whole subject, and UFOs are demons and that's it, and abductions are fake, right? Or you could have gotten out of that and it's not a big deal, or it's not something I got to think about. All that, there's that. Not thinking it's a thing at all. It's for them to think about it anyway. And then there's the other side who thinks about it a lot, but to them, they don't. There's no critical thinking going on to see that in a broad, looking at the broad view over years and seeing the details of these things. That I don't know how anyone can come to the conclusion that it's all sunshine and rainbows and light. There obviously whatever's behind this phenomenon, call them aliens or whatever they are, they're not particularly truthful, and they're doing things that are evil, right? If Fringe would know, if these things are true, if they're kidnapping people, whether it's, I don't care how that actually works out, whether it's physically taking them somewhere or mentally capturing them or whatever, however that works, or both, or even what they do with animals, right? Or something's happening with cows, but you're taking people, you're kidnapping them, you're against their will, you're raping people, you're physically injuring them, you're wiping their minds of memories or putting false memories in. Like, all that is wrong and evil and not cool, right? So whatever that is, that's not a good entity. And that doesn't have a good nature at the core, right? So that part is negative and dangerous potentially. I mean, potentially it is dangerous to some people. And what are we going to do about that? And Fringe is saying specifically with end times prophecy. Well, I'm trying to work that out because, like, I know, like, I'm learning about the Collins elite and this whole thing, and I'm blown away by the fact that if there are believing Christians in the government, let's say, who are actually looking in, they know the UFO thing is real, they know the abduction thing is real, or that's happening, and their opinion just is it's demons, and we're not going to say anything about it. That's the plan. That's not the Christian plan. I know to your point, I know that, again, the common belief would be, if these are negative beings, if they're demons, or if they're some whatever created by fallen angels, whatever, if that's the MO, if that's the purpose, is to somehow just deceive people, well, that's par for the course. If it's to, steal souls, we can't. I mean, that's basically what it is, right? So to me, the end time the prophetic view that I'm trying to work through is because usually the truth is something different. And I'm referring to like the big issues of eschatology. Like, is Israel important? Yes. But you have basically two wrong answers in most of the church. Almost every Christian that you will encounter, just as an example, is wrong on both sides. Either they think Israel is not important, God is done with the Jews, that's over with. It's all about the Gentile church, and the country of Israel means nothing. That's one error. And the other error is God is so he's totally consumed with Israel to the point where we're going to be, all the other believers are going to be raptured off of the earth, and he can't possibly do everything at once. He's got to only concentrate on the Jews for 7 years. And all the prophecies about them are only them. There's no Christians left on the world. Those are both not true, but they're both the majority, right? The majority over on the left and the majority on the right believe one of those things. So I don't mind splitting, but you got to work through it to get to the truth of the matter. So I am not willing right now to say UFOs are demonic, period. They're demons. Well, I know they're not demons. They could be something else, right? I'm just theologically like, I don't get it, how this popular belief can be true. But I also don't think it's this other version of, it has to do with gathering people for Armageddon and this is a terrible situation and we've got to, God's in control of that. Or that people are opening up, black magic and they're pulling in these demonic things, and that's why we're seeing UFOs and aliens and stuff. I don't think that's true either. I mean, I don't think it is. That doesn't mean these things are good or positive, or that they're just, other life forms from 1 million years away, light years, and they just don't know any better. I don't think any of that's true. That's not where the evidence is. So I'm still trying to plow through that fringe. I don't have an answer right now. What I'm suspecting, where I think God is leading those who are willing to consider, anything, the truth, and regardless of what man might tell us, is that there is a role for this, for these entities and this, what we would call technology, right? Even though it seems like supernatural, like it's actually some type of technology that can be used or created, or like a weapon. Like we're talking before about the Nick Redfern stuff, or what, what you have experienced. This is all weaponized technologies, right? Basically. That part of it, I think, could be part of the scenario. Not only in what we're told are going to be supernatural, miraculous events, like to deceive the world kind of miracles. It doesn't say like from people, like legitimate, how did that just happen type of stuff. Like that kind of thing, even to the point where what I'm looking at as far as what's happening next, what can we look for? Like the other person was just asking about what Israel's role is right now, or what's happening there. What does that have to do with anything? The next step of this is the Iranians are going to somehow conquer the entire Middle East with some new weapon, or in a way, in a using something that you can't fight against. That's not popularly taught. Just that. But the fact my gears are turning in maybe what they're going to be given, not that they created it, but maybe they're going to be given some type of super weapon from non-human intelligence. And that's how they're going to do what they're going to do. And then the final things really start rolling. So, in my humble opinion, they will likely play a role in the Great Deception. I mean, it's possible. Sure. Yeah. I mean, if they're liars, if they're not who they say they are, or if, just by definition, right? If you're not telling the truth, you have another agenda. You have another purpose in all that you're saying and doing. Why are you here making yourself kind of sort of known, but not really? Have you cut a deal with the governments of the world to not say anything? Right? There's a lot more to be unraveled with that. And if it is a legitimate bunch of entities, folks, trying to deceive somebody, yeah, it's going to have to come out. So yes, I'm definitely wary, and I'm more for sure on the side of whatever it is, it's not good. We should be very cautious and take it seriously and take it like a threat, as opposed to, they're just here to stop us from killing each other, which of course is nonsense because we're killing each other like crazy. Okay. I hope that helps you, Fringe. It probably doesn't, but I don't know yet. I don't know exactly.